Dr. Parthenia Grant.
All right, I'm delighted to be here today talking about how music, hip-hop music in particular, and a new social media app are incredible vehicles for positive social change. Most of the time you hear all of the negative stuff about social media and about hip-hop, but on Divine Love Talk, I like to focus on the positive. I also so in studio today, I have Dr. Naima Malachi, author of A Hip-Hop State of Mind, and that was your dissertation, correct?
It was my dissertation, yes. It was my dissertation that wound up taking on a life of its own. And it took me through a very transformational journey through hip-hop, where I got to actually see hip-hop as a culture. And I wind up turning that into a book for everyone else to see hip-hop as a culture as well.
And I'm glad that you did, because it definitely reframes it by giving us the history of it. And I have also joining me my co-host, Kim Michaels. And Kim, you're my expert on spirituality and the ego, and I know there's a lot of ego in hip-hop and in music in general. But right. I'd like for you to just open up with a statement about the importance of us being vehicles for positive social change.
Well, I think that's the only way it's going to happen, is that ordinary people do it. We have a tendency to wait for the experts and the leaders, and they're the ones who brought the world to where it is today. So I think it's time for people to really step in all kinds of ways.
Oh, thank you for that. And Dr. Malachi, I think you're definitely stepping up.
Thank you. Thank you.
To the plate. So I would like for you to begin by telling the audience about some of the positive social changes that are happening with some of the artists in hip-hop. I have personally been promoting Lupe Fiasco and the positive things that he's doing with his music for women and children.
Yes.
So would you just jump in there?
So there's a lot going on in hip hop that does not get as much attention as it is, from the older hip hop rappers to younger hip hop rappers. For instance, Common and John Legend, they just won the Oscar for their song Glory.
All right.
Amazing, which was based on the movie Selma, which was, of course.
Oh my God, that was an amazing movie.
Yes, amazing movie. And that was all completely about revolution.
Yes.
So that was at the forefront just not so long ago. That happened at the Oscars.
Well, thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome. And then Diddy, he actually just got an honorary doctorate at Howard University.
All right.
Yes, he started.
For what?
He got an honorary doctorate for music and innovation in music. He got that.
Oh, is that Puff Daddy?
Yes, Diddy.
Okay,
Diddy did that. And then Drake, a younger artist.
I love Drake.
I love him too. He started Houston Weekend, and in Houston
is he from Houston?
No.
That's my hometown.
He's actually from Toronto, I believe.
Okay.
But he has just this passion for Houston.
Okay.
And he started a Houston Weekend, and in order for people to go to his concert in Houston, they had to volunteer
and
do
do you
community
mean
service.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. So there's a lot of really amazing things going on in hip hop. Just underground hip hop. There's this group called the Flintstone Kids.
Yeah, who are they?
They're from Toledo, Ohio. And they're a group of young kids who actually make positive hip hop music.
Hey.
Yes. And they use the beats based on different songs that are out in hip hop now. So they turn like songs that are not so positive into positive ones.
All right.
And then they put the music out there, and they're an amazing group.
So Kim, do you see that as a sign that we are starting to wake up? Because music has the power to pull us down or to raise us up. So what are your thoughts?
Well, I agree with you. Music is very, very powerful. And I think there's a lot of things going on today among young people, where maybe I can't understand it. I freely admit that. But I see that there's a lot of young people that are very engaged in society and really want to create some positive change. And I think it doesn't matter to me whether they do it through this or that form of music or in other ways.
Oh, and I agree. The important thing is that they see that there's a need in the world for them to add positive value, and they're doing it. And it's creative. You know, Kim, you talk about the importance of us being creative.
Yes, that's very true. And, there is no limit to creativity. You can't really sit here and judge it based on what we've done before. I mean, that's the mistake we always make. And I think you look back at history, and so many times a society has failed to see the new idea and the new trend that really brings change.
Yes, and nobody thought in the beginning, because I was there at the beginning of hip hop, and I was like, this is just a passing, phase. And my kids, jumped on the bandwagon. It hit internationally. It mainstreamed, and I was like, okay, we're looking at a phenomenon. And the original, message of hip hop was that it was a vehicle for social change, yes, and to bring back a new revolution in love and peace and just having fun, because yes, you can dance with it.
Absolutely. And that's something I learned when I went to Harlem. I went to Harlem, and I went to the Hip Hop Cultural Center. And along my journey, I met Grandmaster Caz, who was a hip hop pioneer. Mm-hmm. And I went through on a tour, and I was taken to the Bronx, New York, and to where hip hop first started. Right? Yes. In the Bronx. And I learned all about Afrika Bambaataa and how he had this idea that he didn't want the gangs to fight anymore. Mm-hmm. And so they would exchange battles. They would battle rap as opposed to fighting. And he was once a gang member as well. And he transformed his life through hip hop. And then it just turned into a global movement.
So is he considered like the father of hip hop?
Yes, he is. He's considered the father of hip hop, Afrika Bambaataa. And he has a nation that still is funded on hip-hop principles of love, peace, and having fun. And it's called the Zulu Nation. That's still in Harlem right now.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm. Now, you also talked about the fact that something amazing is happening in Cuba with hip-hop.
Yes. So in Cuba, when actually hip hop came to Cuba through Miami, mm-hmm, and so when it came to Cuba, of course the government was a little hesitant about it because there was so many young kids with this revolutionary music.
Yeah.
But over time they saw that it was so impactful that the Cuban government started a department which is actually a record label for hip hop, and they sign hip hop artists, and they also have a hip hop magazine. And
this is the government.
Yes, this is the government in Cuba.
Well, I've watched this whole revolution, and it's hilarious. It was hilarious for me with students from all over the world and hearing like Armenians rap.
Yes.
And hearing Chinese artists rap, yes, and hearing Indian artists rap. It was like, whoa, yes, this is a global phenomenon.
And definitely, I look at it as we look at the African diaspora and how people were taken from different parts of Africa all over the country, and the influence in all different parts of the world. And I look at hip hop the same way, how it was taken from the Bronx and just spread internationally, and has so much influence in Kenya, Nigeria.
Yeah.
They have rap in different Arabian countries as well. So it's global at this point.
There's nowhere that it has not had its influence. So I'm just so relieved to hear that it is really going back to its original roots,
yes,
of positivity. And I told you I'm working with a hip-hop artist who produced Lupe Fiasco's last 3 albums.
Love Lupe.
To do a spoken word piece that's addressing many of the social issues affecting children and the planet today. And I thought that it would be more powerful to do it using a hip-hop producer, yes, and I also have a hip-hop artist, but using spoken word. Right. And I think that's the beauty of hip-hop, is that pretty much everybody feels like they don't have to know how to sing.
Right.
They can talk.
Right. And they can
have a voice.
Yes, without having to sing. And it is a craft, it is a skill.
Yeah.
But I do want to emphasize that it's also a culture.
Yes.
So it has its own food. It has its own language,
Yes,
per se.
that's true.
There's a hip-hop slang, and
Yes.
it has its own way of handling, and it has its own hierarchy. It's a true culture, and people live a hip-hop lifestyle.
I agree.
Right. And sometimes not so well.
Yeah.
Like there's, but that's what every culture, there's the positive and there's the negative.
Yeah, and as you and I talked about, anytime there's the potential for a lot of money,
Yes.
corporate America, the power elite, they're going to come in there and find a way to corrupt it and exploit it.
Right.
And Kim, I'd like you to say something about that.
Well, I think music is a good example of exactly what you're saying. The power elite always takes over, and then it's about money and profit, not about creativity. And I think it almost happens to any new thing that comes in, that once it gets big enough, then the money comes in, and then the creativity goes out the back door.
And now we're coming back to that creative aspect of it. And then there are artists like Lupe and Immortal Technique
Yes.
who have chosen not to sell out and not to give in to the pressure
Yes.
of the corporate machine to silence them and to monitor their lyrics.
Yes, Lupe actually lost his sponsorship at one point
Yeah.
for speaking his truth.
Probably
so
at
to
the White
say.
House, right?
And it happens often. I know Common this is just recent in the news, Common made an album a while ago about Assata Shakur.
I don't know who that is.
Assata Shakur, she's a revolutionary from the 1960s.
What was that? Tupac Shakur's aunt?
It was.
Oh, I know
It
who
was.
she is. Okay.
So he actually was supposed to speak at Kean University, and they actually protested against him speaking.
Oh, wow.
Because he said something about Assata
Positive?
Shakur. And
Yeah.
that was 15 years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
So despite anything he's done, even winning an Oscar,
Yeah,
it was
the
because of his
censorship
voice.
is there, you
Right.
know, and there is this pressure to take sides and to limit positive talk. It's kind of amazing how you have these machines that just bash on a big level,
Right.
On the conservative side, but when you start to say positive things, there's shutting out the voice.
Right. Another person who is really strong at that is Kanye West.
Yeah.
He is his voice of all voices. He is going to say
does
what
not
is in
care.
his mind. No. And the good thing about that, recently he did have an interview and he discussed bringing his music back more so towards the Jesus Walks type of music.
Oh, good.
He did. He said that he's moving back in that direction, and he said that his last album before the one he's coming out with was really a revolution in because he has that whole fashion industry revolution idea going on. So he said that he's honestly moving towards more of his Jesus Walks foundations.
Well, what is that about, his Jesus Walks foundation?
Jesus Walks is actually one of his first songs that were on the radio. It was a huge song.
Really?
Yes, and it was
that.
Jesus Walks. Oh yeah, and it was all about him being a Christian and how Jesus has improved his life. And the wonderment about it is that it was a song about Jesus that was multi-platinum.
Oh my goodness!
Right, and
Kim, wait a minute, Kim. What do you think about that?
Oh, I think that's a great idea. I'm sure Jesus would like that.
I know. Right?
I think he would express himself today in whatever culture people are open to, where he can reach people.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Wow, I'm going to go find that song now.
Just Jesus Walks. It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Wow. So, I'm so grateful to you. I'm talking to Naima Malachi and her book, A Hip Hop State of Mind. And I want you guys to check it out. I mean, a dissertation that got published. You did a great job with it, showing the pros and cons. We will be back with more from Naima Malachi after commercial break. You're listening to Divine Love Talk on CRN. I am your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant, and coming up after commercial break, we will have more inspiration.
Thank you.
Welcome to Staples. How can I help you?
Hey, Staples guy. I need to promote my new business and do it on budget.
I can make that happen.
Can you print business cards?
Staples can print business cards, brochures, banners.
Pens?
Pens, magnets, luggage tags.
Calendars.
Calendars, sticky notes, lawn signs, and window decals.
What about foam fingers?
What color? Red, yellow, blue.
You had me at yellow.
Make on budget happen, make getting noticed happen. Staples, make more happen. Now at Staples, get 40% off large banners, posters, and lawn signs.
Offer valid on all large banners, posters, and lawn signs in store and online and 6/27/15. Discount applied before taxes. May not be combined with any other offer. See store staples.com/signs for details.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. Really? Yeah. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call or go online to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now, 800-471-5173, 800-471-5173.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
Okay, we're back with more of Dr. Naima Malachi and her book, A Hip Hop State of Mind. Okay, you did some really great research on the pros and cons of hip hop. You're very fair.
Thank you.
About the cons. And one of the studies suggests, and I believe it's absolutely true, that we need to do more study on policy changes because of the power of hip hop to be able to create positive change on issues like police brutality, teen pregnancy, murder, crime, sexually transmitted disease, unemployment, homelessness, drug abuse, and fatherless homes.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
And a lot of the artists have been addressing that.
Yes, they have. And really, the hip-hop culture is a culture that is just about the younger generation. And the younger generation is the place where change is most effective, right? And even though we are older, it's just something about their energy that's a vehicle to more change. And so because they're the younger generation, that's the hip hop is so impactful to them. It's just a part of their growing up. So just using them, I know that there was the Vote or Die campaign that took place in 2006. That was one of Diddy's initiatives, Vote or Die, and he just had younger generation voting by the thousands and millions. So that's an example of just how changing policy can take place just through using hip hop, an artist or some vehicle of hip hop.
Well, and I'm, being a college professor, I am a proponent of all you got to do is watch the trends with young people, and that if you want positive change, then you had better get it in their hands.
Right.
Because they are the ones that are going to make it happen. And if you look at history, any positive social movements have always begun on college campuses.
Absolutely.
So, hip-hop is this vehicle that, yes, it's being exploited and it's being used for a lot of negative, things.
Yes.
But I'm saying join Dr. Naima Malachi in a positive hip-hop state of mind, because we need this social revolution, and we need it fast. Kim, what do you say about that?
I agree with you. It's a matter of reaching young people in whatever way they can be reached. And I think, obviously, the kind of stuff that I'm writing about cannot reach a lot of young people. I'm very well aware of that.
Right. Well, I think we could put some of that stuff to music.
I know we can't we? Make a nice rap song about that.
Absolutely. And that's the part that I'm playing, is to, bring more spirituality into our lives, because we are spiritual beings, having a physical experience and not the other way around. And music is an incredible tool for doing that. And I am so grateful to you that you had the courage. I mean, did you have a hard time trying to get this dissertation off the ground?
Actually, my chair was completely on board.
Oh, cool.
I had no idea what my experience was going to be. And I'm
good. You were just open.
I just went in there and it just took on a life of its own. And then sometimes I got tired, but then of course Spirit was just moving me to go from place to place to place. And I just met with some of the most, I met Drake, I met Common, and everyone was opening the door to me. Right. It was never a closed door. And it was tiring, but it was never difficult to find out the information that I needed to find out.
Yeah. And I told you when my son was working with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre and all of them at Death Row. Wow, what a name for a record label. And Tupac was there.
Yes.
They all called me mom. They were all very respectful.
Right.
And it was a learning experience over there.
And you would see a rapper on the news or hear the music or see him in the media and think that they're not a warm or welcoming person, but it's just the hip hop culture is a very welcoming culture. Very welcoming.
I have to agree 100%. Yeah. And they accommodated me, even Suge Knight when I said, no, I don't want that, in the recording studio. I need, them over here. He was like, okay.
Yes.
Very, very, very gracious.
Yes. And very professional as well.
Yes.
So it is an industry and it is a business.
And it's run like a business.
Yes, it is. And it's very professional.
Yeah, and they got to make money. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Coming up, in the next half hour, I have the founder of a new social app, that his name, I'm so delighted, to bring him on board because he's my former teacher. Ashwin is coming up, and Diane, talking about their new app, Aha.
Oh, very nice.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Showroom at South Point presents illusionist Rick Thomas. Mind-gripping effects that will have you mesmerized. April 10th through the 12th. Is it magic? Illusion. Is it real? Tickets are vanishing fast. Conjure yours now by the magic of going online at southpointcasino.com or charge by phone 702-797-8055. Rick Thomas at the South Point.
I'll start out with some of my songs that go back to my very first recording.
The Showroom at South Point presents Crystal Gale, April 24th through the 26th. Tickets available now. in person at the South Point box office, online at southpointcasino.com, or charge by phone 702-797-8055. Don't miss Crystal Gale at the South Point.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-351-8614. That's 800-351-8614. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-351-8614.
Did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you can make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? Yes! According to the U.S. Census Bureau, you can make almost twice as much. Going back to college is now easier than ever. There are select online colleges that provide laptops to their students. In fact, there are thousands of college programs on your laptop. You can go to college anywhere and everywhere right from a laptop. Call My College Laptop and you can find hundreds of programs from accredited colleges and universities nationwide. Start a new career in law enforcement, business, information technology, healthcare, and hundreds of others. Call My College Laptop to find an online college that will provide you with a laptop. In no time at all, you can double your earning potential. Double your earning potential. Call now. 1-800-582-7531. That's 800-582-7531. 800-582-7531.
They say life is about choices. So let me introduce you to one of the best choices you can make in life. Grainger Choice. The Grainger Choice product line has just about everything we need to keep this place running. From batteries to V-belts, safety to sump pumps, and with Grainger Choice, we can trust that every product is dependable and cost-effective. When it comes to making life choices, here's a great one. Grainger Choice. Get it? Got it? Good. Call, click Grainger.com/choice or stop by. Grainger. For the ones who get it done.
The Doug Stephan Good Day program, early morning radio, and I guess it is radio, although it's radio on TV because this is CRN Digital Talk. You can find out what's going on in the world. We talk about the issues of the day, the events of the day, the people that people are talking about. We have an interesting way of looking at the news and having a little fun with the issues. So if you want to have some fun, learn a few things, and get up on the right side of the world, Doug Stephan's Good Day program, weekday mornings, 2 to 7 a.m. on CRN Digital Talk.
Okay, we're back with more of Divine Love Talk on CRN. And in this half hour, I have my mentor and teacher, Ashwin. Ashwin, would you please pronounce your last name? I don't want to butcher it. You know how we only used first names in India.
Hi, Parthenia. It's wonderful to be on the show. Yeah, his name is Ashwin Srisalam.
Srisalam. Okay, I can say that. Ashwin, I'm so happy to have you on the show. And you know, I've always admired you. Ashwin is my daughter's age, but he is my teacher and my mentor. And I truly admire him and the journey that you've been on. Ashwin ventured out at the age of 13 on his journey as a monk to aid humanity in finding happiness. And Ashwin also brought with him his partner, Diane Bacchus. Is it Quittis?
It's Quittis, Parthenia.
Uh-oh, I'm going to butcher that one too. Okay, well, yes. Diana started out as a 9-year-old going door to door selling bread in British Guyana to support her family, and the paths of Diana and Ashwin crossed, and they came together to ignite the shared vision to inspire connections in humanity through this new social app called AHA, which is a global inspiration engine. And Diana, what is your belief about people in general?
Yes, Parthenia. Ashwin and I come from a belief that people are good People are caring and people are kind. And not that we are hearing necessarily all these stories every day, and we wanted AHA to be a place to really showcase the qualities in humanity.
Well, and I agree that, the basic, media machine likes to focus on blood and gory and, negativity because, they say it sells. But I think that inspirational things sell just as well. When you look at the things on, the internet that go viral, they're either really funny or really inspirational. And so I think that, should be a lesson to the global media conglomerates, that the people want inspiration and they want to laugh.
You're absolutely right.
Absolutely. Just to add on to that, you see any video of a baby on YouTube, it becomes viral. You can keep posting tons and tons of baby videos. People love it, and that clearly shows what people are looking for.
And that's exactly what you guys are doing with AHA, correct?
Exactly.
Now, you guys just launched the Android version of the app in India. When was it? April 2nd. And you launched it in Chennai with Oscar and Grammy Award winner musician A.R. Rahman. So what's his connection with AHA and the app?
Yeah, he's been a very good friend for the last 6 years, and people know him very well all over the world for the music he composed for the movie Slumdog Millionaire. And that's what he bagged his Oscar for. And he's someone who's very conscious. He has always been about making a positive difference in the society. His music comes from that place. And when he heard about this platform, he has a music school in the southern part of India where he teaches extraordinary world music, which would normally take 4 to 5 years, to people who have absolutely no background of music, from the most remote villages in India to any other part of the world, and he teaches them in less than 9 months. And so that we were here, he wanted something like this, and not just this, but there's so much good that is going on, exactly like what's going on in that music school, to be constantly illuminated. And when he heard about the platform, he said, I absolutely love it, I want to partner with you guys and take it forward. So he said, and since he's someone who has already been entrenched in Indian hearts and even globally, someone who is about positivity, he felt he should launch the app over here. And ever since, in the last few days, just the response has been phenomenal in India alone.
Wow.
And we now the launch in U.S.
Well, actually, congratulations on that. Go ahead, Diana.
No, I was sharing that we actually are talking to you from India. We're currently here.
No wonder the connection. Okay, got it. Hello?
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, and music is an inspiration to everyone. It doesn't matter how you're feeling or what state of life you're in. But just hearing something that ignites something else in the mind and the heart, that can really take it far.
I agree 100%. Well, I'm so excited for you guys, that you have this kind of, response and this kind of support. So talk a little bit more about the app. I know you have it, available on Apple, and now it's also available on Android. So tell people how they can get the app and, what you'd like for them to do with it. Uses for AHA World.
Absolutely. So the name of the app is AHA. It is spelled as AHHAA, A-double-H and double A. And it's available. We brought it first on the Apple Store little over a month ago, and we launched the Android app, as I said, on April 2nd. And what we have been doing is we started it first in U.S. We launched it at West Virginia University. They have been very great support for us ever since we even thought of this app. And we felt that they should be the first college in U.S. that should be launching this app. So literally it got announced to the world from West Virginia University, and ever since we have been going to other colleges like Columbia University and even the high schools. We have partnered with this whole program called the PBIS, which is Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports, which is a part of DOE. and they have been working with us with regards to bringing it to high schools in U.S. And the whole idea is to show, illuminate, to celebrate how good people are, how caring people are, how kind people are. We're not saying that it has to start. We're not saying that it has to increase. There's so much going on day in and day out in every little house, in every little community, just that we don't know about it. And the way bad and wrong has been sensationalized, if something like this is constantly illuminated, we will absolutely know we are in a different world instead of waiting for that one day when everything will stop and a new world would have begun.
Absolutely. Kim Michaels, what are your thoughts on that? Kim is joining us via Skype.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful idea. I mean, we obviously need something to bring people together and have a positive way to uplift each other, and I think it's a great initiative.
Well, and again, Ashwin, you're such a visionary and such an old soul, and just the fact that you're getting this kind of support is saying that this is an idea whose time has come. You and I had spoken earlier about the fact that social media is even used when people are interviewing for a job, and you pointed out how employers will check your social media platforms before they hire you. So tell the audience how AHA World can be used to help aid them in their job search.
Virginia, I'm going to answer the question.
Okay.
Yes. It was very alarming to Oshin and myself when we realized that the large amount of job applicants after college, or even high school students getting into colleges, or just people looking for jobs out there that are getting rejected by HR and without even an interview. And the reason for that is that HR are looking before you even walk into the door. They're looking on the internet, they're looking online to see the characteristics of the person, not only your accomplishments, but do I really want this person to work with me?
Right.
And we found it very interesting that for example, a student might go out on a Saturday night and they might have fun, and they might post something fun on social media or any other platforms, and then on Sunday morning we've met students who actually are doing amazing community service. They'll go out to a super chain, or they'll go out to a orphanage, or whatever it is that they're doing. Or maybe, it's a single mom or a single dad who is taking care of their kids. And that part of their lives are not being portrayed. And we found it very astonishing that this is why we brought up AHA, to really illuminate those greatness that everyone are doing, and really kind of have this energy paid forward. It's really alarming that the number that we found is 68% of those applications are getting rejected.
Yeah.
So what AHA is a platform where people get to share those everyday things that are making a difference in their lives, and kind of create a digital footprint for all the amazing work that they're doing. And on the platform itself, it's got what we call a vision board, where people get to create, or users get to create, visions for every part of their life. It could be for their family, it could be for their schools, it could be for their job. And this is a place tomorrow that Oshin and I see that when somebody Googles, when HR Googles us, or when HR Googles a student or an employee, that they're going to see the vision of that person. They're going to see not just one side of that person, but a well-rounded individual, and they can make a choice at that point.
Wow. Because social media does, can help you or hurt you a lot, because, we've seen so much in the news about bullying on social media, also about people posting really negative, hateful things about other people on social media that are not true at all. And so a platform like AHA, AHHAA, where the focus is on global inspiration, I think that it's needed, because I had to literally create that space for myself on my Facebook group because I just didn't like the fact that people were posting such trivial things that really were not important or that were negative. And so I set the trend. And then my students started to follow because I did Facebook as a means of staying in touch with students and continuing to teach them and continuing to inspire and enlighten them. And so I was delighted when I heard that you guys had done this because it was needed, definitely. Yes. Hello. Oh, we lost the connection. Okay. Well, Diane and Ashwin were joining us from India, but, as with technology, when it's good, it's very good. And when it's bad, there you go. Well, Kim, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So, let's continue the discussion about, the positive, effects of social media.
Well, I think you're absolutely right that we need something to filter it because it's actually a threat to the internet. If you think about the internet, how it started with positive people, highly educated, very intelligent people who wanted to share something positive, their progress.
Okay.
And what is unfortunately is in danger of happening is that it deteriorates to the lowest common denominator and a lot of negative people take over and the positive people withdraw because who wants to be mobbed on your own Facebook page?
Absolutely. Did we get them back? Okay. So, Ashwin, can you hear us? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So tell people how they can get the app. Do they have to pay for it? Is it free?
No, it's a total free app, Martin. It's a free app, and they can download it from the Apple Store and Google Store. And if you have time, I would just quickly love to answer the question you had earlier about how it's going to help them.
Okay.
Yeah. See, what's happening, in fact, even as we were sharing about PBI's positive behavior intervention supports that we are working with, at the end of the day, each and every individual on this planet, what are they looking for? They're looking for validation, which is nothing but the need for love.
Yes.
And where they get validated, they go towards that. And it doesn't matter, the intelligence doesn't work at any point of time, whether that validation is productive, whether it's constructive or destructive. And what we have seen, people who have been used to habits, which is painful, which has not been so sensitive of others or considerate to others, they all have that element somewhere. And if we manage to illuminate that, a platform like this, for example, we have an inspired key on the app which people press. The moment someone presses inspired, you get a notification on your phone if someone is inspired by your wave. And you have this 3D globe where you get to see who are these people. They might be like from Vietnam or from Australia or from China. And that small little validation you get that you've been accepted, you've been totally recognized by random people that you're a good human being, makes them, okay, this is something that I've been recognized for, I'm going to do more, and I'm going to do more.
Mm-hmm.
And slowly raising that hope, and slowly you, down the line, see, we have been experiencing this in colleges and schools. They start experiencing that compassion, they start experiencing that love for the other, and soon it's a whole different ball game. We first deem that person to be bad, and then we judge them, and then we don't give any hope for them to change, and then we ask, if you don't change, you're not going to have a better life. But rather, to be sure that there is absolutely that love in you, and just that it hasn't been validated, which today, the best place to do it is social media, because they are on their phones all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The way they get the like button for a small little post, the kind of gratification they receive, the stimulation it creates in the brain, you can stimulate the brain in any way. The brain is brain no matter whoever that person is, if he or she is bullying or he or she is being bullied. And that stimulation that he or she would receive through this platform, that I did something positive and I got so many people inspired by this wave, will go deep into that person's mind, and he or she will absolutely be prompted to do more, which is what we are experiencing in so many schools and colleges. And we see if this is done more and more and more, people who are their leaders, like student ambassadors, they all set a rule, like we have student governments who bring it to their other students in the college, then they do adopt it all the more easily because it's coming from their own peer group. So the bottom line is,
Ashwin, we're going into commercial break, so we're going to continue and we'll wrap this up after commercial break. You're listening to Divine Love Talk on CRN. I'm talking with Ashwin and Diane Bacchus-Quittis about their new social media app called AHA, AHHAA, that you can download for free on your cell phone. We'll be back with more after commercial break. Thank you for joining us.
Before you hire someone to take care of a patient at home, contact at least 3 references. AARP caregiving expert Amy Goyer.
It's a good idea to ask, was there anything when this person was working for you that had to be worked on, that was a little bit challenging that you had to work out? Because that will sometimes open the door for you to get a sense of the person's weaknesses as well as their strengths.
You also want, if possible, to get the okay from the person receiving the care. So have the applicant meet the patient.
See how the interaction goes. Have your loved ones give you some feedback if they're able to do that. How did they like the person? One of the things I always observe is, does the care worker talk mostly to you as the family caregiver? It'll give you a real good idea of how they're going to be with your loved ones when they're alone with them, when you're not around.
And have a backup plan in case you need to make a change in the caregiving schedule. Tomorrow, paying the IRS. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP. I'm Aileen Ellis.
Hi, folks. This is Larry Minetti. And many of you out there suffer from skin problems. Well, I've been telling you for months how to solve that problem. It's called Herpantocin. It's the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out. It gets rid of all kinds of acne on your back, your neck, your face, so you can feel and you could look like a movie star. Herpantocin is a natural supplement. It was created by Dr. Wayne Diamond and his staff, and trust me, this really works. I've been on these supplements for over a year now and never had a problem. There is no reason in the world to wake up and be afraid to look in the mirror. You trust Larry. Just try it. Call 888-467-4200. 888-467-4200.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Located in the heart of Maui's premier resort, Kaanapali Beach Hotel is officially recognized as Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel and the #1 best value in Hawaii. With a range of accommodations and affordable dining options, this is the ideal setting to turn Hawaiian dreams into lifelong memories. Live Hawaiian entertainment every evening, free year-round children's programs, weekly arts and crafts fairs, welcome breakfast, and departure kukui lei ceremonies add to the value. Swim in the whale-shaped pool. Indulge in the fabulous spa and hotel salon. Enjoy Hawaiian hospitality at its best at the Kaanapali Beach Hotel. Call 800-262-8450 or go to kvhmaui.com. That's kvhmaui.com. Aloha.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Okay, we're back, and I'm interviewing my mentor, Ashwin, and his partner, Diane Bacchus-Quittis, about their new app, AHA, AHHAA, a social media platform and app that you can download and use it to create waves of inspiration around the world. So what's the next step for you guys? After the launch of this app?
We are now just constantly touring various colleges, schools, throughout this month, next month. That's something that's going to go on as a regular ritual. Our focus physically at this point in time is U.S. and India, but we have other people who have come forward who want to do the same in their own countries, take this forward. And the whole idea is to reach out, and at this point of time, we're reaching out to the colleges, have the youth experience it, we're taking it to the faculty, and basically have them experience this. And as it keeps growing, there are others who hear about these people's experience, what this app is all about, and then it becomes an endless ripple.
Well, and honestly, I think with the high level of bullying in schools in America, there is the potential for this platform to, through positive reinforcement, to become a major positive reformational tool on the planet. And I know that that's probably your vision.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that we are working with PBIS right now, is bringing the platform even to a younger age, which is taught in the elementary schools, because these are the times that we find the signs. If you start kind of instilling these values at a young age, it's hard for these kids to grow up and thinking any different.
Yeah, and I see when I go to the Apple store, I see these little 2-year-olds that are on the iPad, and they actually know what they're doing. And I see babies in strollers. It's just absolutely amazing how their brains are wired.
Absolutely. One of the things that we are doing here to Parthenia is we are literally bringing the world to each other. Meaning that, for example, we're having a big launch with Boys and Girls Club in New York, and we're having this school here by ARM on that their students are going to inspire the kids there with music. So there's so many synergies that we're working on that this platform is going to bring together to really illuminate humanity and illuminate all the good that we are doing day in, day out.
Well, and that's what we were talking about in the first half of the show, is the power of music, and I've definitely jumped on board, to see what I can do to help, inspire social consciousness by using spoken word and music. So how can the audience get in touch with you guys? What's the best website?
They can always if they download the app, and the app itself, the help center, they have all the details as to how they can reach our office.
Okay, all right.
Otherwise, they can, go ahead.
So just go to, just Google AHHAA, the app?
Yeah, it's just AHHAA app.
Okay.
Put it on Google, you'll get all the information. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. I will have you guys back on when you're in the U.S. Kim Michaels, thank you so much, as always, for joining us via Skype. And I wish you guys continued inspiration.
Thank you
so much for having us.
Thank you. We'll see you guys next week.
Shows sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio's 6 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all of your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before.